What's going on, you guys? Like, what you guys to the channel? Your boy Big Dog back with another one take review. Today I got one for Hawkeye, episode 4, Partners. Am I right? Damn, man, I really need an intro, man. That shit would have been cool because it just transitions to the intro. Somebody got to work on that. Okay, somebody we got to work on that. But nonetheless, I thought this episode was another great episode of Hawkeye. I've said before, I think this show has probably been the most consistent with like the quality of its episode, all of them being around the same level of like enjoyability and entertainment wise. And that one could definitely continue in this because I don't know if this is one of my favorite episodes or what. Just because how I really enjoy how this episode was set up. Because the most part we just got like a lot of just like connection, the building, the building of the partnership between these two. Kind of like a lot of what we had wanted to see. Kind of like this teacher. We begin like the teacher student stuff, but like begrudgingly from like Hawkeye, he kind of didn't want to do it. But this one, I feel like Case really winning them over, you know what I'm saying, with how she is and like her understanding of things. I feel like she's definitely maturing, you know, with how she's like handling being around like her favorite superhero and everything. So I'm enjoying that because like the episode starts off with obviously we still had Jack holding the sword up to Hawkeye's neck, Hawkeye's throat or whatever, and then his mom, well not his mom's, Eleanor comes in, Eleanor Bishop, Case mom comes in. She's like, "What is an Avenger doing in my house?" And like, what? Okay, what's going on? And then they sit down and they have a talk with it was Jack and Eleanor, and they're talking to Hawkeye and Kate. And she's like, "Hey, we're partners." She's like, "Yeah, not really partners." It's like, "Oh, well, we working on a case together." Yeah, Hawkeye just still kind of, like he constantly like, "Okay, dude, you telling everything." I'm like, honestly, this is kind of like embarrassing for me. It's like, so my daughter's working with an Avenger on an Avengers level 30. It's not necessarily like it's such a muffled type thing. Like you can't really quite explain it in a way. And plus, for his sake and their sake, we probably shouldn't tell him exactly what's going on. But it's like, hey, can you leave? That's pretty much what it all ends up like. Can you leave? And can you leave my daughter out of this? And then Clint and Eleanor have a interesting conversation, very interesting conversation because like she's like, hey, I understand, you know, doing this whole superhero thing. My daughter, you know, I idolize you and whatever, but like, can you keep her away from this and keep this, you know, because she's like, and Clint like, hey, she's good, but like, yeah, well, Natasha was good too. And I was at that moment, you kind of looking at Eleanor sideways because if it's me, I'm like, hey, Eleanor, you want to run the fade or what? Like, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty shiesty of you to say that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really appreciate that too much, Eleanor. You know what I'm saying? But like, but you understand where she's coming from her mother. You know, she's like, hey man, you're an Avenger and you're over here hanging around with my daughter, and I know y'all get in this the field and the other line of work, like y'all lose a lot of things no matter how good you are. So and then she asked about his family, and I'm just like, okay, I told y'all, I don't trust Eleanor. I do not trust Eleanor because even after that, Clint leaves and everything. She goes to make a phone call talking to somebody who we don't know who it is. And I said, I don't know if you guys watch Lamont's live stream, but I even said, we going to see Kingpin, but the first time we going to see him, he going to be looking out over the city of New York and do something like little glass at the top of a building, and he going to be talking to Eleanor. But okay, I'm just gonna hold that right there for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold that for you guys. And Clint goes back and like he's pretty much like resting. He's like, put some ice on all this stuff. I'm just finna chill. And then Kate shows up. In Kate fashion, she brings a Christmas tree. She brings like Christmas movies. It's like, hey, you're supposed to be Christmas movie marathon tonight. You know, so she brought a whole bunch of movies, and they just like the connection between the two is just building. Clint's you see Clint's let down his guard with her because he feel like this girl is trustworthy enough for what he can do that. And like even when she's talking to him basically about the Black Widow situation and stuff like that. And like, you could tell he didn't want to. At first, he wasn't going to say anything. Like he really told her to drop it. You saw how his mood changed, and she recognized it. Like she didn't just push it. You know what I'm saying? She eventually just let him tell the story for himself. I thought that was great. You know what I'm saying? Them just like drinking slushies. I don't know mixed drinks. I don't know exactly what it was. I just know they were chilling. Them the dog who still doesn't have a name. Dog still doesn't have a name. Somebody give the dog a name already. But yeah, they just chilling. Like you building the connection between the characters, and I think that's one thing I appreciate about these Marvel shows, or just like we're really in this show in general. I'm all cool with like the fight scenes and like the overall plot and story like that, but you got to give me time with the characters. I appreciate them just like getting to know each other, just doing like regular stuff, and I kind of feel like this show is giving me that a lot. I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier did it too. It's kind of like get the characters just doing like regular stuff, just chilling, and that way you kind of like pull back the not pull back the courage necessarily, but like kind of just show like the human side of things. People just like living like normal lives. They laugh and smile and joke and talk about stuff like that. They watch movies just like the rest of us, stuff like that. I'm saying I appreciate that whenever I see that. So eventually, Kate, Hawkeye tells Kate, yeah, you got good intuition because like something shady is going on with Jack. And he's like, oh, okay, he's got like a share company for something, and pretty much Jack owns it. And it's like, oh, okay, wow, we have to like get things going. But the whole thing, we don't have one set of trick arrows. We have to go get those back, right? So he sends her to go talk to the LARPers. I guess LARPers? Yes, I think that's definitely the name. The name is definitely LARPers. I can't think of anything else. And like while he goes to talk to Kazi, Clint goes to try to convince Kazi, like, hey, understand that like you don't want anything bad to happen to Maya, and you do understand like that she's pretty much after revenge and she's chasing the ghost at this point. I kind of feel like you're more level-headed. You can talk to her because we both know what's going on with the guy up top, Kingpin. So I enjoyed that scene, like Clint talking to him, and like I feel because at first I pretty much predicted like Kazi was going to go over Maya. Okay, and he won't end up trying to get her spot. But it kind of seems like that, what I'm saying, kind of weighed away a little bit. But at the same time, it's still a possibility because what Clint said, like, you've been there the longest, you know how things operate the most. So if he's been there the longest and knows how things operate better than anybody else, somebody been put over him is probably not something he would have appreciated. So that's still like a possibility there. Which I'm like, hey, my theory is possibly still right, And then we continue with obviously Kate going to talk to the LARPers. And Kate and Clint's way of getting information or getting things done is completely different. Kate has more of she's a people person, okay? She's able to like lower people's guard just by her personality, and that's pretty much what happens. She goes to the LARPers to tell them, hey, I need y'all to do a little bit of shady stuff and get some like arrows. Hey, we need you to do some stuff for us. Cool. Like it was literally just like, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and that was it. It's like I need it for Hawkeye too, And then she's actually going to even like do the LARP and stuff with. I'm just like, really, that's so Kate. And like Hawkeye comes back, and like, what the hell are all of these people doing here? Now, one thing I do want to say, he better give that little lady her bag back. Okay, gotta say that because they promised. And like that, I'm pretty sure that was because she was not trying to let that bag go, which was like hilarious to me. And so hey, they found out they have to get this Rolex, and we knew the Rolex was gonna come into play because of something that we saw earlier. We saw the Tracksuit Mafia go after the Rolex, so we knew like, of course, it's gonna play some part in this, and it did, because that's the main thing. He tells his wife, he's all like, hey. They talking in code, obviously. Then he's speaking Russian, just like what the hell? They just know how to do everything. So apparently, the Rolex is from one of his former partners who's out the game now, which I don't know who that is. If I'm being honest, because it's at the Avengers compound. It has to be, somebody along that line. I can't think of who at the moment. I'm pretty sure everybody else got an idea about who it is. It is what it is. I just wait for everybody else to say it, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that was obvious. My bad for missing it. It is what it is, though, people. I ain't tripping. we get the moment where they have to go break into this house because they track the road. They break into the house, and they do. Next thing you know, Clint and Kate rooftop got to break in. Clint telling her how to do it. She does it her way. She helps the old guy to the elevator. Starts talking to. She is literally walking over across the street in a purple suit and arrows on her back. Okay, arrows on her. It, cool. But then again, it's New York, so I'm pretty sure they've seen what that was the weirdest thing that got seen that day. Even though that might have been the weirdest thing he heard that day. It's like, oh, I'm talking to an event. He's just like, you know what, this girl's a kook. Let me get up out of here. Kate breaks into it, and this is what I knew was gonna go down. And this is why I love the way the episode was set up. It was just like character stuff. Got you some little funny things, but that still progress the story. Overall stuff with like Kazi and like the larvas and the arrows, give you a little bit of information about all that stuff. And then boom, that's when we get into like the action, espionage type thing. And we have a fight between Maya and Kate. You also have a fight going on over there between Yelena, who's finally showed up. Well, I'm super excited to see because I love Florence Pugh and I love that Yelena. She's my favorite part of Black Widow. Then we have a fight between those two, and then it's just like a triple threat match. Okay, you have the tag team of the Hawkeyes. I'm officially feel like I'm gonna start calling Kate Hawkeye. Okay, you got the Hawkeyes versus Yelena and Maya. What is Yelena's superhero name? Supervillain? Whatever. Is it just Yelena? She got to get a superhero name. I feel like she needs one. And Echo. Okay, we had the fight going, and it's a really good fight between those three because it's like it seemed to be pretty evenly matched. Kate's only person seems to kind of be slightly behind everybody else in skill, but like I think her archery, you know what I'm saying, makes up for that, like the trick arrow, and she's pretty much got the trick arrows like down packed. She knows which one to use because she gets knocked down, and this is probably one of the most important parts of the entire episode, is when, because we already saw early in the episode, Clint had a flashback to what happened with Black Widow, Natasha. So she's knocked over because like they were throwing whenever Kate got through. It's like I don't know the strength of Yelena or Maya. But it's like they were knocking her like 20 feet, bro, in the air. 20 feet might be exaggerated. They were knocking her by 10, though, in the air. So she flips over, and Clint immediately panics. He goes to try to rescue her, and he's looking down at her. And she's falling. She's in the same position. Last thing he remembers seeing from Natasha. And but he sees it like, hey, she's about to fall on some lights. Just like, go home. That's it. I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't want somebody else to go through that. And he says it all without having to say it. Because he goes to rope, tell her to go home. And I like that they just didn't have her just sit there and like get tangled up and stuff until everything was over. Because she literally is just like walks through, goes back. I don't know if she goes. I feel like she probably took the elevator, but I feel like she walked up the steps mad. Like I feel like that's like I wish I could have had just like a quick little scene, but I understand we was in a moment when that probably would have like been too much like comedy for the moment. But I just need a scene of her just walking angrily up the steps because she seemed to be pissed off. Because the first thing she does when she get up there is she knocks everybody back with the arrow that we saw Hawkeye use earlier this season when he's trying to stop the tracksuit mafia from getting on her. So I'm just like, oh, okay, nice callback. And cool, the fight commences, and she ends up getting a drop on Maya because she puts one arrow in and just holds it again. And the thing I like about it is like Kate's like, I'm not trying to kill anybody. You can see it. She's just like, you attacked me. Granted, I broke into your house. Well, like, hey, I'm not gonna do anything to you. And she leaves. Then you have Yelena and Hawkeye. Obviously, Yelena's cold as hell. She ends up getting her mask taken off by Clint, but she also hits Clint with the, you know what I'm saying? She hit her with the little, yeah. And Kate, once again, arrow drawn, pointing at Yelena. And Yelena just simply looks at her like, I don't know if it was like this ain't what you want, or it's like I'm not the one. You know what I'm saying? And she just leaves. Back with those style. Fall back. Super cool. Super cool. Super cool. So then like that's when you have the moment where this is when like the stuff come to blows. Because in Clint's mind, he can't he's operating, he's and like yes, he's helping her out and all that. But he's also still thinking that this is a young girl and I've seen what happened to people who are better than her in this line of work. Natasha, you know, she called Natasha the best of us. I mean, he called Natasha the best of us. So you have that moment where he just like, we're not partners. We've never been partners. And it's just like, it's the Airbud moment. it's the Airbud moment. Okay, it's when the kid and Airbud like go, get away, get away. Like it you. Granted, that's not the only thing we've seen in it. We've seen that little trope used a million times where you just like it's going off emotion and like the situation calls for you to like try to cut ties to something that you really don't want to. But and like I said, Clint and her connection was building greatly. But like that reminder of Natasha and seeing that possibly about to happen to her in that situation, you were just like, no, I can't take this. I can't deal with this. Just have to cut it loose. I thought that was a great way to end the episode. Okay, I'm gonna say something. If Hawkeye episode 5 is of the same consistency level as like as entertainment and like you know quality as the first 4, and episode 6, the finale, some kind of way manages to be the best episode of the season, Hawkeye will be my favorite Disney Plus show. Because right now, I think I'm enjoying it more than any other one. And I think it's mainly because of Kate. I like Kate Bishop's character is just that damn good. Like she's slowly becoming one of my favorite Marvel characters. Like already, I love everything about her. She just the charisma, the personality. Like she has all the traits. She doesn't have everything figured out. You know the way she like kind of like fumbles on things, but like the character development that she's obviously showing when we first saw her to now. You know her understanding of like you know the world and the maturity of it. Like all of those things are working. So I'm not gonna the person who was like hating on Hawkeye or thinking it was gonna be bad or by any means. It's just like I didn't know it was gonna be this good. Like it's definitely been impressive thus far. But I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, not to my knowledge. I didn't miss anything. So yeah. Good episode. You guys let me know what y'all thought about it down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the vid. Hope you guys staying safe out there, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.